We got mics. Look at this.
Fancy.
Hey, John.
What's up? I don't think we have to.
Amanda, have fun editing this.
I don't think we have to hold them though, because they're lapel mics.
I know. I just wanted to.
You don't have to
screw up the entire sound of the video.
Rudy made it down here from DC on a Harley Sportster that looks like it can maybe make it around the block. Maybe it's got
made it around the block.
Way out, just
a couple hundred times
together. And when he told me that was his plan for transportation, I'm not going to lie, I did a little internal calculation. I gave it 80% chance of failure, and he proved me wrong. I think that's what I told you, right?
When in Rome.
We're starting off today with why. Why should I, as an affiliate owner, gym owner, why should I sign up for Outlaw programming? We've reached a day and age in this profession that everyone is extremely professional. Right, everyone is extremely articulate when it comes to programming and community and how to run a successful gym. That's very refreshing. All right. What I've also found is that the vast majority of our affiliate owners out there are writing their own program. Right, and I have found just by talking to them are extremely well informed and are writing, I would say, excellent programming. I would even say programming as good as what we write. I would say that. Rudy might disagree, but I would say it's just as good, right? So kudos to you guys, right? So you're saying, so you're probably, a lot of people are like, so if you're saying I'm writing stuff just as good or that works just as well as what you would write, why would I pay you guys to write my programming? And here's the answer: to write excellent programming takes 20 to 40 hours a month, period. Chances are you're spending even more time than that, because that's not to count the times that you're out to dinner with your wife or your girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever.
Partner.
Your life partner.
Life partner.
The point is, when you're out trying to do other things, and in the back of your mind, you're like, 400 meter row, what's the interval, Sunday.
Who rows 400 meters?
I don't know.
Generally 500.
Sorry, dude.
It's okay. It's okay. Go ahead.
It won't happen again.
Move on.
The point is, it takes up a lot of time, actual time. It takes up a lot of brain space and bandwidth. Even if you're just putting that time back into yourself and your own personal life, whether it's your hobbies, your personal relationships, sleeping more, whatever.
Riding Sportsters, if that's your thing. The point is, that's still value, because that's going to recharge your battery so that you have more emotional bandwidth and you're able to give more to your clients and your coaches when you are there. That's what's going to make your gym better. That's what's going to grow your community. That's what's going to make your business more sustainable. Another common theme with you guys is that, well, my community is a little different. And I get it. You love your people, and to you, they are different and they're unique and they should be. So we understand that. That's why we write it in an infinitely scalable way. If you're an owner and you have a head coach writing your programming, I guarantee you did not hire your head coach for their programming ability. That might have been a sidebar, but you hired them for their personality, their passion, and their ability to work with people in person, whether it's a whole class, one-on-one, whatever. And if you give them that 20 to 40 hours back, they're going to be able to give you and your community and your business a hell of a lot more value than sitting behind a computer, interacting with no one, typing out how many burpees to do on Tuesday. How many burpees on Tuesdays is very important. Rudy is an expert at how many burpees to do on a Tuesday, right? It really kind of devalues me, but okay.
Did it activate you?
It's
what's the word?
I don't know.
Triggered? Are you triggered? I didn't mean to devalue.
No. The goal here is to give you guys the ability to move on to other things, right? Is give you the ability to interact with people, to make phone calls, to plan things, to plan events, etc. Question for me is proven, right? Is it proven? Is it something that we can? This is how I work. Is it something that we can test, retest, and see if it worked on people? And I can say from now, 15 years or to at least 12 years in just the CrossFit world, and probably 20 years in the overall strength and conditioning world. I can say that what we do, what the programming that I write, the style of program that I've kind of developed over the years, etc. It is that. It's proven. It works, right? So we don't have. That was amazing. I didn't even plan that, everybody.
There's still coffee in there.
Oh, that sucks. I'm gonna need more. What was I saying? We had a group that was doing a Wendler 5-3-1 cycle, and then we had our normal gym population, right? This is like 2010.
My goal was to test the efficacy of power cleans versus deadlifts, right? Over a 12-week period. The 531 group, which was actually deadlifting, versus the general gym population, which was not deadlifting. Long story short, at the end of the cycle, the group that didn't do the 531 cycle, the group that didn't deadlift, ended up with a far greater improvement than the group that did. The point is, we've been doing this a long time, and we've figured out what works, what doesn't work, and we're going to give something to you that's going to give your clients more success in a shorter time frame, we believe, than anything else, right? And will be fun and will be scalable for everybody. For me, the why of the program is because it's proven, right? It's something that we, for years now, we've seen work in large populations, special populations, different populations, whatever your feelings are about your gym, it's going to work.
So I talked to one affiliate owner, and she brought up a really solid point that I could identify and empathize with on a very authentic level, I guess is the best way to say it. And her point was, she said, John, I see the value, right? I want the time back. I know I can make good use of it, but I care very deeply about my gym remaining my brand, right? So it's been my blood and sweat and tears to build it to this point, and I want it to remain my recipe, my brand, my creation, right? And it's a great point. I really thought about that because that's something that's always been near and dear to me as an affiliate owner. Is that we don't want to just be just any other CrossFit gym, right? We want to have our own recipes, so to speak, right? So here's the analogy I came up with after thinking about that, and I think it works really well. There's a burger joint in North Carolina that gets voted the best burger joint in the country every year. Apparently, it's called Al's Burgers. You're like, why have we not been?
Why are we not there right now?
Right. So Al's Burgers, right? They get their beef, their ground beef. They airship it in from wherever. It's grass fed from the nether regions of wherever.
Vermont.
The Netherlands, whatever. It's the best. It's the best.
It's
meat.
from the Netherlands.
No, I'm exaggerating, obviously.
I was
anyway,
gonna say
it's the best New Zealand grass fed, whatever. It's the best grass fed beef on the planet, right? They bring it in, they airship it in, right? But they don't advertise that, right? They're not like, hey, we're the best because we use this meat. And the reality is, plenty of other people use the same meat from the same source. That's not what makes them the best. That's the raw material. They do start off with the best raw material. And then what makes them the best is the way they cook it, the way they present it, right? The atmosphere they create around it, the garnishes, the sides, all the stuff they build around that raw product is what makes it Al's Burgers. Now, do you think they'd have time to be the best burger joint and cook it the best way and do all that other stuff if they were out raising the cattle and making sure they ate the finest grasses and No, that's a profession in and of itself, right? They take that raw product, they make it their brand, right? And they're the best at it. So what we're handing you, hold on, let me finish the analogy. So what we're handing you is not the keys to the castle, right? It's not the final product. It's not even close. It's the raw materials in its rawest form. The way you coach it, the way you explain it, the way you present it, the atmosphere you wrap it in, right? That's the magic. That's what's going to make you your brand. The reality is exercise at this stage in the game is exercise. There's a lot of good programs out there. We feel like ours is the best, but the point is there's a lot of good grass-fed meat, right? There's a lot of good program out there. It's how you prepare it and how you present it and deliver it to your athletes. That's the magic, and that's what makes your brand, not the raw material. That's just one of the ingredients. I talked to a lot of gym owners like we're even more unique in that we have this class that comes in that's for this kind of people, and then right after that we have 3 different levels of programming and this and that. And as they're talking, I'm hearing 2 things. One, man, this affiliate owner is extremely passionate and wants to get it just right for everybody, right? And right after that, I'm hearing, holy cow, dude, you're spending all this time and energy and bandwidth. You're writing, not only are you writing your own programming, but you're writing 3 different programs, right? For 3 different levels. Well, we have the older crowd, and then the ladies only, and then that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, with specifying those different groups. If you find that's what works for your business model and your area, your demographic. People, well, I have the military classes, and then these people are more like. That's fine. Keep it like that. What we're saying is take this raw product, take what we're giving you, right? Scale it, package it, deliver it in a way that works for your different specific groups, it's still a burger, right? You still have the grass-fed meat, right? If you need to cook it a little differently for someone else. So what I'm saying is the principles, the programming, the progressions that are in there, that's the value, right? So you might have to change it and make everything into a body weight version of the stuff that's on there, right? Or PVC pipe version of the stuff. It's still the format, so that what would take you hours upon hours to write out differently takes you a few minutes each day, right? And that's a skill that obviously you're going to have as an affiliate owner, but it's a skill and it's a ability, it's something in the toolkit that all your coaches should have, right? And if they don't, it's an excellent opportunity to bring out the need for coaches development within your community. Like, hey, is everybody comfortable with how to scale all these, these basic movements? Is everybody comfortable with how to make this fit any different class, right? They should, any CrossFit coach should be able to step into that class, take that raw material and mold it to fit. The way we do it at our gym specifically is we change it to fit almost every individual in the class. We end up changing something to fit either an injury or mobility limitations, or maybe they bump up to RX Plus. The point is we realize there's a need there's a need for unique programming for individuals. We're saying let us give you 20 to 40 hours of your time back to make that experience more individual and more unique for each person, right? Instead of spending that time trying to write it. You're never going to write it point blank right for every single person. You'd end up, if you have 100 members, you'd end up writing 100 different programs. It's not, and the value there would be negligible. You're better off taking the raw product and molding that to fit each individual instead of trying to write all these different programs. Think about that. All right, one last thing we want to leave you with. All right, it's a challenge. If you're writing your own programming, you could be using your time much more efficiently and creating much more value for your community and much more sustainability in your business. I'm not going to change our minds about that. Stop writing your own programming. Focus on the more important stuff.
Like making your Sportster run.
There's probably a lot of other better examples than that, but if that's your thing, then look at me. You're doing great.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.